expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Phoenix, Tucson, Flagstaff, Prescott, Brother Mike. Back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. May God bless you today. Thank you for your time. Today's Bible study, Christian cowardice, running rampant in America. Hey, will you call somebody and tell them radio program's on while I make a couple of quick announcements? This is Brother Mike. I'm the certified professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. We're downtown on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. It's a red brick building on the west side. Used to be a Mormon youth center. The Holy Ghost booted the Mormons out, and he moved in. On the website, you can see all of our ministry services, hardcorechristianity.com. Thursday nights is our healing room, which is the bomb, thank God, at 7 p.m. We have a mental illness healing class for Christians with mental illnesses. That is also at 7 p.m. Thursday nights. Friday nights is my teaching service, my radio listeners, 7 p.m. Live streamed on my Facebook page and on our YouTube training channel. I've been missing a couple of services recently. My daughter had caught severe pneumonia and was hospitalized. All my friends were praying for her, and we are so grateful. She's recovered. She's in rehab right now, and she will be home in just a few days. She's doing great. You can sign up for a free seminar on our website. You can check out the radio archives. If you're selling your home, please contact Sister Karen. She's on the front page of the website, ready to sell her home. She loves working with born-again Christians. Don't forget about sending us another donation, as you have for the last 18 years, by hitting the PayPal button. Thank you for all you've done for us. Christian cowardice. In America, there are more gutless Christians than you could ever imagine, but it's not something that is unique to the United States of America. There's always been Christian cowards. Matthew chapter 8, quote, "When Jesus entered into a ship, his disciples followed him. Behold, there rose a great tempest in the sea." The Greek word for tempest there is seismos. Seismos is the Greek word for earthquake. And if an earthquake occurs on land, it's called an earthquake. If it occurs under the ocean, underwater, it's called a what? Tsunami. This is a story about a tsunami. It says the tsunami occurred insomuch that the ship was covered with waves. Kalupo means to be totally and completely covered over. So this ship that Jesus was on had a lower deck. So what it's saying there was the upper deck of this fishing boat was completely covered, and everybody else was in the lower deck. It says he was asleep. Okay, he wasn't sleeping in the water on the top deck. He was underneath in the lower deck, asleep. His disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, "Lord, save us, we are perishing." Now that was mistranslated as well. The Greek word for awoke there is agyro. Agyro means to stand up, get up. Stand upon your feet. It's the same word used in the resurrection, agyro. He resurrected from the dead. He stood up and walked out of the tomb. Stand up, Jesus. They were yelling at him. How do we know they were yelling at him? Well, they were scared to death. They were cowards. Listen to this quote. Jesus said, "Why are you so fearful?" Greek word deilos. Deilos means cowardness. Why are you acting like cowards? You of little faith. Oligapistos is the Greek word that means, why do you lack confidence? Why is your confidence so low? So what that sentence actually says was, why are you acting like cowards, and why is your confidence so low? Then he arose and he rebuked the winds and the sea. What happened there? That's the Greek word epitomeo. Epitomeo is the Greek word that means to rebuke. And it's only used in the Bible when Jesus was dealing with demons or Satan. So we know now, like in the first chapter of Job, Satan was controlling the weather and had caused a tsunami. Absolutely amazing. It says, quote, there was a great calm. The men marveled, saying, what manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? Now, this situation with this tsunami was crucial. Why? Because the next challenge they faced was the two maniacs, the demon-possessed maniacs of Gergesenes. That's who they faced after they got to the other side in the boat. And so this tsunami was allowed by God to serve as a lesson on faith, because they were going to need it later when they faced the two maniacs of Gadara. This Greek word, gelos, it means cowardice, not fear. That's the Greek word phobos. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. Now that verse actually says, God has not given us the spirit of delia, cowardice, but of power, dunamis, supernatural power, and love, agape, which is divine unconditional love. A sound mind is sophronismos. It means a sane mind, a mind that works in an orderly fashion. Listen carefully. I've been in the deliverance ministry for many, many years. Fear spirits always work in conjunction with delia spirits. Fear and cowardice are two demons that always work the same. So if you know someone who has fear, anxiety disorder, they also have a coward spirit. The fear demon is what causes the person to have their initial shock of fear. He attacks the soul, and the person becomes afraid. The coward spirit, delia, attacks second and makes it fearful or scary for the person to get any help. So they both work together, keeping the Christian in bondage. For example, Mark chapter 4. The same day when evening was come, Jesus said to them, let us pass over to the other side. When they sent away the multitude, they took him, and he was in the ship. Now that's the Greek word pleion, which is used to describe larger ships, fishing ships, bigger boats. It says, quote, there was also with him other little ships. Pleiarion is the Greek word that means a boat. So these others were boats, and Jesus was in a ship. You see the contrast. And the boats were following the ship. Well, suddenly there arose, when they got out to sea, a great storm of wind, it says. That's the Greek word lilaps, not the Greek word seismos. Seismos means an earthquake. Lilaps means a windstorm or a hurricane. And it says the waves beat into the ship so that it was now full. Once again, Jesus was in the ship, the bigger boat, which had a lower deck. So the upper deck of the boat was now filled with water. Quote, Jesus was in the hinder part of the ship. Now that's the Greek word prumna. Prumna means the stern or the rear part of the ship. Okay? The stern was built higher than the first deck. So Jesus was asleep on a pillow in the upper portion of the ship, which was not flooded. The bottom portion was flooded. The first deck got flooded, but the stern did not flood. And he was sleeping. And then it says they awoke him. They said, Master, do you not care that we're perishing? Well, in this particular incident, this is a separate incident from the one I read earlier, which was later in his ministry. This was early in his ministry. Diairo is the Greek word there. It means to wake someone from sleep, to arouse them, or shake them, or to say something to them to get them to wake up. It wasn't the Greek word stand up, like in the other incident. And then they said, teacher, didaskalos is the Greek word for teacher. Do you not care that we are perishing? Translation, we're going to drown in the sea. Jesus arose from the place he was sleeping. Once again, he rebuked the wind and spoke to the sea, "Peace be still." Epitomao is the same Greek word. It means to charge or to rebuke. It's only used with Jesus when he was facing demons or Satan. And the wind, and he spoke to the sea and told it to be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. Okay? Here, Jesus, using his great faith and authority through the Holy Ghost, stopped a hurricane. In the other incident, the Holy Ghost stopped a tsunami. You're saying to yourself, my gosh, these spirit beings have a lot of power. No kidding. No kidding. Quote, Jesus said, "Why are you so fearful?" Same Greek word, Delia. There it is again. Why are you acting like cowards? How is it that you have no faith? Can you see it, beloved? Faith and cowardice can't be in the same person at the same time. Cowardice overcomes faith. Carnal Christians live in cowardice and fear, and their faith decimates. The verse says, quote, "They feared exceedingly." There it is. Phobeo is the Greek word for fear, phobos. Fear gives you the initial shock in your soul, and your body feels the anxiety. Sometimes you'll tremble, sometimes you'll get a knot in your stomach, sometimes you get a headache. The demons attack the soul, bang. Fear is felt in the body. Cowardice then attacks next. The demon of cowardice helps the demon of fear. They work together as like tag team wrestlers. And cowardice makes the person afraid to go for help. Beloved, I see it all the time in my ministry. People are so scared of demons, and they're scared to come for help. They don't want to come get healed. And instead, they live their lives as a cowardly, carnal Christian. If that's you, and you want to be delivered from that, Thursday night, 7 o'clock, the healing rooms, come this Thursday. You have got to get rid of these demons of fear and these demons of cowardice to fulfill your destiny and your call into your ministry. Whether it's full-time ministry or lay ministry, doesn't matter. Ministry is a ministry. You must come get delivered this week. See you next time.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.